everyone. Thank you all so much for coming to my senior recital. I'm really, really excited to be putting this on for all of you, and extremely nervous, not gonna lie. Yeah, to be honest, like a couple of weeks ago, there was no plans whatsoever for me to be putting on this recital. I was inspired after both playing in and attending a couple of my compatriots' recitals, Jason Pack and Sam Shung, and they really, really inspired me to put on my own. Because I had this thought, like, I'm graduating Dartmouth in a week. I don't want to have any regrets, and I felt like if I didn't at least try to put on something, that I'd really leave the school with feeling like there's something missing. So thank you to both of you for putting on fantastic programs, and I'm glad that y'all all could make that here today, because I know some of you are really in the trenches right now with work, so I wish you all the best of luck. I have a really exciting program for all of you today. It's split into 3 different parts. The first is called New Beginnings, which kind of represents these kind of pivotal turning points in my music career at Dartmouth, as well as just my Dartmouth experience in its entirety. The second one is called Everything is Better with Friends, because let's be honest, it kind of is, which features some chamber works that I've completed over the last couple of terms. And then finally is a part called Introspection, where this is kind of the most open-ended one, but when I kind of took a deep look back at my music experience, these were the 2 pieces that I felt like had the most profound impact on me, and kind of, and what I kind of hope to embody in music, I suppose. One more thing I just wanted to mention before I start talking more about the music is that this is kind of an informal recital. There's not really any planned intermissions, but we'll have like some short breaks in between each of the sections. But no matter what, I know y'all are busy people, always feel free to come in and leave as you please between pieces. So the last piece I played, that was the first of Alexander Scriabin's 24 Preludes, Opus 11. I'm not going to give you too much of the history or rundown on it because I didn't memorize any of that. It just requires way too much headspace to remember all the details, and that's what we have a program note for, courtesy of ChatGPT. But I do want to give like short anecdotes about each one and kind of how it relates to each of the section headers. This is just the introductory piece, so it doesn't really relate to any of them, but the story of how I found this piece is basically I was taking the Dartmouth coach from Hanover to New York City, and I was on a random Spotify classical music playlist, and I just happened upon it, and I just hit repeat for like 3 hours on this one piece, which it's like a minute long, so I mean, I've played it like 180 times in a row. So I hope you all enjoyed it as well. I won't torture you by making you listen to it that many times, though. This next piece I'm playing is the Courante from Bach's 5th French Suite. The French Suites are a series of dances. In this case, there's 7 of them, and kind of the significance here and how it relates to New Beginnings is that some extra context first is that I actually, I started playing the piano when I was 5. I was classically trained up through middle school, and then I made the transition towards contemporary and jazz music at the very beginning of high school, but I just didn't really find I had enough time to really continue doing it, so I actually ended up quitting piano altogether. And then in my sophomore winter, I just decided on a whim to take IIP, and kind of the rest of the history just kind of reeled me back to the music world, and I'm really grateful it happened. So the Bach's 5th French Suite, not the piece we'll be playing today, but the Allemande and Gavotte, which are 2 of the dances, was actually the first 2 pieces I played following my return to piano after my piano hiatus. So they're really important to me in that sense. But specifically, the Courante is also an important piece to me because it was the first piece I played at the Tracy competition, which is the piano competition that Dartmouth holds every spring. And it's just kind of proved to me that I'm still able to play piano at the level even after such a long time away. But we don't have to talk about the results of the Tracy competition. I prefer to stay away from that. But anyways, please enjoy the Courante. third concert etude by Nikolai Kapustin. I'm going to be honest, I'm really terrified of playing this piece. It is by far the hardest piece I've ever learned on the piano, but that's actually also how it relates to New Beginnings, is that I kind of have a long history, my parents can attest to this, of trying to pick up these like really difficult pieces, playing them for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then dropping them. I can't tell you how many Chopin etudes I've learned the first 2 bars to. So many. But over winter, I kind of decided that I was done with giving in and giving up like that. So I decided to pick up this piece, and my mom can also attest to this, but I was playing this piece for almost the entirety of winter for at least 4 hours a day, every single day. I don't know how she didn't get sick of me and kick me out of the house during that time, because I would have gone mad. But I'm really grateful to have had the opportunity to learn this piece, and regardless of how it ends up, regardless of how it is, I'm just really grateful I had the chance to learn it, and to be able to play for all of you, because it's been kind of a huge, it's given me a lot of self-respect in a way that I feel very few other pieces have, and it kind of reminds me that no matter what, if you keep on practicing something, you can eventually achieve it. So I hope you enjoy. So this next piece, you might see that I didn't include the name of the piece or the composer. That's because this is the one piece in the program that I think is just best received by an unknowing audience. People always love this piece. I think the best 2 words I can use to describe it is just heartwarming, and for a lot of people, really nostalgic. This is the piece I think it best brings people together, and that's actually how this relates to this header of New Beginnings. So the story behind this piece is that during my sophomore fall at Dartmouth, there was one particular night. I don't know what day it was, doesn't really matter. But basically, I was just in Fakey common room, playing the piano with a few of, I guess at that point, people I didn't really know very well. but those people would end up being three of my closest friends at Dartmouth. So I think this just goes to show how like music is not just performative, but also does have the ability to really like bring people together in a sense. So this one, it's dedicated to Jason Pack, Eric Lund, and Charlie Childress. That's the end of the first third of the concert, I guess. Let's go ahead and take 5. I just need to rearrange some things, and then we'll get back with the second part. All right, this next piece is, actually Sam, I'm going to hand it off to you to pronounce because I can't speak German. How do you pronounce this piece?
I don't know.
Two songs. Zwei, something like that. By Brahms. I will give a little bit of history behind this piece. It's like a little bit I did memorize, which is that this piece was, first of all, there's 2 songs that were both composed 20 years apart, and both of them were dedicated to Joseph Joachim and his wife Amelie. The second song was written at the time of the birth of their first son, and the first song was written in a time where they were going through some marital discord, where he was effectively trying to kind of reconcile their marriage through the song. Now, unfortunately, it did ultimately lead to a divorce, but just let's forget that part, which imagine they had a happily ever after. I think it. And then I have, of course, the lovely Jason Pack on viola and Sam Chen on the baritone. These 2 guys are some of my best buds here at Dartmouth. They've been huge, not just like music inspirations, but also just like life inspirations for me, and yeah, I love them. So that's that. just have to do a little bit of rearranging. This is Catherine. Say hi, Catherine. This piece doesn't really need a whole lot of introduction. It's a Disney medley. It's fun. It's really pretty. Catherine brought this piece to me during winter of, I guess, this past year, and she was like, we should play the Disney medley. And I listened to it, and I was like, we should play the Disney medley. Because it was really good. And Matt, I know you're really excited to hear this one. But I've known Catherine for a year now. It's kind of crazy that it's only been a year because it actually feels like I've known her like my entire life. We're just like that, you know? Yeah, she's an amazing pianist, an amazing friend. And it's just a lot of fun, like, practicing in the practice rooms with her. Most of the time, it's like, we'll be there for 2 hours, but only actually playing the piano for like 20 minutes. And the rest of the time, we're just chatting about random stuff. So hopefully that doesn't rub off in the actual piece itself. But anyways, enjoy. I guess that concludes the second part of the program. So I guess we'll take 5 again. Yeah, I'll see you in a bit. All right, 2 more songs. I'm almost there. Let's go. All right, now we're entering the last section of the program, which is called introspection. And like I said, this is the pieces that kind of have some sort of real special importance to me in my music career at Dartmouth. So this first piece is the Intermezzo, Opus 118, number 2, by Brahms. The reason that this piece kind of falls under this category of introspection is because it almost feels like you're meditating while playing the piece. It's like very unlike any other piece I've played before, where there's so much emotion kind of imbued in it that you kind of like soak it all in, and it becomes a very personal experience. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it with the nerves, but like normally when I play this piece in the practice room by myself, my eyes are like closed pretty much the entire time, because it's just one of those pieces you really feel, and I just want you to kind of keep that in mind as you listen to it. Professor Mosley, some of you might know him, he once called this piece introverted, as opposed to some of like the overtly extroverted pieces I was playing earlier in the program. I like to think that that's a really good way of describing it. So with that said, I hope you enjoy. So this last piece I'll be playing is titled La Colline de Capri by Claude Debussy. Debussy is probably my favorite composer of all time. He just creates these surreal, like audio soundscapes that just like perfectly represent places. And this particular piece, which is one of his, it's one of the preludes from his first book, is supposed to represent the town of Anacapri, which is on the Italian island of Capri. And this piece holds really, really special significance to me. So, like I said earlier, at the beginning of the recital, I had taken a 4-year hiatus from piano, and I returned during sophomore winter. After that first term of piano, while I definitely felt kind of inspired to play again, I still kind of felt like there was something missing. There was just kind of this drive and passion for music that I had as a child that I felt like I had kind of lost to some extent. But this was the piece that, upon listening to it the first time, I remembered really distinctly. It was on the Fahey third floor study room with Brian Young, who sadly can't be here today because he's in Atlanta. But I listened to it with him, and I just got like the instant chills, goosebumps, and that lasted the entire piece. And pretty much as soon as I could, I ran to the piano and started practicing it. And I credit this to basically precipitating what would be kind of return for my love for music, and kind of gave me the passion for a lot of the pieces that I played earlier in the program. So for that, I'm really thankful to my original teacher, Greg, who introduced this piece to me, to Stephanie, who helped me learn it, and to just Debussy for just making such a masterpiece. So I hope you enjoy. First of all, I just want to say thank you to all of you for showing up. To be honest, a lot more people showed up than I expected, given the point in the term and how last minute this was. So really, thank you for coming and supporting my music journey here. Thank you to my parents. They've given me an unbelievable amount of support throughout my entire life. I mean, my mom took me to my brother's piano lessons when I was 5, and that's what kind of started all this to begin with. So thank you for that and putting up with me playing nonstop and not always talking to you while I'm doing so. I want to say, of course, thank you to the people who joined me on stage today. So Jason Pack, Sam Shung, and Catherine Chu. Y'all are some of my closest friends, and it really means the world to me that you could come and join me up here today. It was a really awesome experience. I want to say thank you to, as well as special shout out to Kevin Lin, who unfortunately we couldn't play any pieces together today. That's because all the pieces we played together are all really, really hard, so it was basically impossible for me to learn any of them in a week. But he was my original chamber partner, and we've done, 4 terms together? So I feel this program would definitely not be complete without giving him some recognition for being a really important part of my music journey. And thank you to Greg Hayes. He's now retired, but he was my piano teacher during sophomore winter for kind of reeling me back into this world of music. And then the biggest thanks to, she can't be here today, but Stephanie Rogers, who has been my piano teacher for the last 2 years here at Dartmouth. And she's been kind of my inspiration, and she's kind of held me strong in music ever since I met her 2 years ago. And last but not least, thank you to Yoshi for bringing me happiness and joy and love. Yoshi.